What's going on, New York Giant fans? Welcome back to another Roster Bubble Series video. Hit the like button if you haven't already, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops or video drops. Appreciate coming back. Share this out. Do all the good stuff. We're going to do DJ Davidson in this video today. Another Roster Bubble Series video for you guys. And if you guys aren't familiar with the type of videos that I do with the Roster Bubble Series, I take a player that's on the cusp of being cut. I talk about their background, competition. Then I go into how they could win a spot on the roster, how they could lose a spot on the roster, and then a projection at the end. DJ Davidson was a draft pick by the Shane Dable regime in 2022, fifth-round selection. I believe he was 5 years at Arizona State, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Yeah, that's 5 years. So his first season, he was drafted as depth behind Leo Williams and Dexter Lawrence to be like the third, fourth D tackle. So he plays decent in the preseason, not great, but listen, we'll see obviously how he develops as a fifth-round pick. So a few weeks into the season, he tears his ACL against the Green Bay Packers, and he's done for the year. Much like Marcus McKeithen, who tore his ACL in the preseason, same with Darian Beavers. So he didn't get a rookie year other than 4 tackles and a total of, 43 defensive snaps. I remember him playing mostly against the Carolina Panthers mostly against the Carolina Panthers, some against the Packers, and then, so on and so forth. And then they started finagling with defensive tackles like Henry Mondeau, Vernon Butler, Justin Ellis, and it wasn't necessarily a bright sight to see. So he comes in his second year, and they draft Jordan Riley. So I think I did a DJ Davidson roster roll video last year. I'm not sure if I did, but nonetheless, he comes in, plays 15 games, starts 2 because, remember, Dexter Lawrence was out 1 or 2 games, and, he's dealing with his injury, and then the Giants are just finagling with defensive tackles with Nacho, Ashawn Robinson, all these different guys, and he records 1 pressure and half a sack, that half a sack being on Brock Purdy along with Leonard Williams. So competition, what is he facing here? Jordan Riley, Timmy Horn, Elijah Chapman, Ryder Anderson, and Casey Rogers. Now, I know that they don't play all the same positions. Some guys are DTs, some guys are defensive ends, but it's going to be interesting to see how everybody stacks up against each other. Timmy Horn is a journeyman, formerly the Falcons. Jordan Riley started to impress a little bit last year in minimal snaps. Casey Rogers, UDFA out of Oregon. Elijah Chapman, UDFA out of SMU, who can also play the fullback position. And then a guy in Ryder Anderson, who last year got injured and wasn't able to show off his talent, but had a really good rookie year in 2022 with the New York Giants. So how can he win? The Giants, in my opinion, also, Jordan Phillips is another guy to put in there. How can he win? The Giants need a number 2 next to Dex. They need another defensive lineman. They need somebody to stand out. And it's been the last few seasons where Leo and Dex go out, and they're just mauled by the opposing team in the running game, in the ground game. And that needs to stop, right? The Giants didn't draft any defensive tackles in this year's draft. They believe in Jordan Riley. They believe in DJ Davidson, and they brought in Jordan Phillips amongst other guys, as we talked about. So, in my opinion, it's not just about stopping the run. It's also about gap discipline. It's also about double teams. Can he double teams if he is double teams because of his size? He's working extensively with Andre Patterson for the last 3 seasons. He needs to also, in my opinion, develop just a tiny bit of a pass rush repertoire. Because I look at these other guys, Chapman, he could be a little bit of a pass rusher. Same thing with Ryder Anderson. Riley, I'm not so sure about. Timmy Horn, probably not. Casey Rogers, got to look at his college stuff. But they need a little bit of a pass rush production, but someone who can hold the fort down, whether Dex is off the field or he is on the field. Be a number 2. Gap discipline, double teams, play well versus the run. How can he lose? Falls behind other defensive tackles, injury, that would be a big one. Lack of tackling in the hole, gap discipline, washed out versus the run. If he's washed out versus the run, and it's going to be interesting, right, to see who gets first-team reps next to Dexter Lawrence in training camp. Is it going to be Jordan Riley? Which, honestly, I would make the bet that it is probably Jordan Riley or Jordan Phillips. But if DJ Davidson get some of those reps, he's going to need to take advantage against guys like John Michael Schmitz, John Runyon, Jermaine Lemonor, if Azudu switches inside. However, they do the combos in the O-line, DJ Davidson is going to need to play really, really well against those guys. But if he falls behind other DTs, injury, lack of tackling in the hole, gap discipline, washed out versus the run, those are bad. And obviously the linebackers will need to do a solid job, and the guy next to him will need to do a solid job, and so will the defensive ends. But DJ Davidson hasn't shown like the most production in the world to say, okay, we could keep him. Because if he's out-dueled by a guy like Timmy Horn or Elijah Chapman, undrafted free agent from SMU, or Ryder Anderson, he could very well lose his job. And he's a 6th-round pick, so it's not like he's a 2nd-round pick, or he's a 3rd-round pick, or he's a 4th-round pick. No, this guy's a late-round pick, didn't get much of a rookie season. They need to see some development out of him. And even in this defensive tackle group, you don't want to go into 2024, we need a DT2 next to Dexter Lawrence because the guys we have are incapable. You don't want to do that. So again, how can he win? Emerges as the DT2 next to Dex, gap discipline, double team eater, plays well versus the run. How can he lose? Falls behind other DTs, injury, lack of tackling in the hole, gap discipline, washed out versus the run. The Giants also need good tackling DTs. I do have DJ Davidson making the roster. I don't think he's going to be the DT2, though, next to Dexter Lawrence. I think it's going to be either Jordan Riley or maybe Jordan Phillips to start. But I think DJ Davidson's going to find his way in the rotation as the season goes on. But that's another roster bubble video for you guys. Like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops to your jobs. Appreciate y'all coming back. Peace out, guys. See you later. Stay cool.